This is how you correctly play Cyber Dragons. What's going on, guys? This is Miasin. So today will be a pretty special video because I won't really show you some combo-heavy combos of Cyber Dragons, but rather the flow of execution and how to correctly play Cyber Dragons in order to optimize your resources and play with as low of cards as possible, so you don't really need like 5 cards to be able to play, and of course take full advantage of your hands that might not be the best. So before this video starts, please make sure you like and subscribe if you're interested in any of these kind of videos. And with that being said, let's jump right into combo number 1, quote unquote. So for that one, all you really need is Cyber Dragon Core. You never need anything other than that. Core is a self-sufficient 1-card engine as long as you play it correctly. So you will be going normal summon Core, search the Cyber Emergency. Also, searching Repair Plan would work. It's just that you're kind of at the mercy of your opponent if you do that, because Repair Plan can only be used when you have a Cyber Dragon card in the graveyard. So in other words, if your opponent finds a way to banish your Core, then your Repair Plan does nothing. So searching Emergency is a better way of completely guaranteeing that next turn you will have a play. Now, a valid argument would be, oh, but what if you just go El Mirage and then use a Repair Plan to search the card that you want to search? Well, the only thing that you would benefit off of that Repair Plan would be searching Galaxy Soldier, but if you don't already have a copy of Hertz, then that is completely useless, and on top of that, you risk drawing another Galaxy Soldier for turn. So you want to keep that search card so that next turn, regardless of your draw, at least you know for a fact that you can search a card that will actually help you. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to search the Emergency, and we will not be using it, because again, depending on what happens next turn, this Emergency can search a completely different card. Now, depending on what my opponent does, it literally doesn't change that much. Whether the Core stays on the field or dies, it's going to end up being the exact same, as long as, again, the Core does not get banished, because if that happens, then we just go Emergency, search another Core, search probably Overflow, and then probably play the game from there. I'm, of course, assuming that you have other utility cards that allow you to stay in the game, because your opponent will have more than 1 card, of course. But anyways, let's just say that this is a simplified game state. Maybe you're on a grind game or something. Look at what you can do. So just with a single Emergency in the hand and a Core in the graveyard, assuming your opponent has a monster on the field, you can banish the Core in order to summon another Core. Very, very important. A lot of people might be kind of, I don't know, maybe confused and summon Cyber Dragon because they think Core can only summon Cyber Dragon, but it actually summons a Cyber Dragon monster, and it also does not negate the effect. Cyber Dragon monster means any monster that has Cyber Dragon in its card name. So Cyber Dragon Core counts, and it's a really good card to have in your graveyard. Again, if your opponent did not kill the Core and it stayed on the field, then we just skip that part, and the Core is already on the field, so then we can proceed with the combo. You will now activate your Cyber Emergency to search for, you already know it, Cyber Dragon Dry. I kind of like that card as a one-of in the Cyber Dragon Trap deck. Transform every single Cyber Dragon on the field to level 5. It's really important that it transforms every Cyber Dragon, not just Cyber Dragon monster. So if you have another monster whose effect is negated, it becomes its original name. So if this Core randomly gets its effect negated, it becomes Cyber Dragon Core, so it does not become level 5. A little annoying, and this can also eat a Veiler. So that is a risk to take, but whatever. I mean, if your opponent has interruptions on top of you not having anything else to deal with them, then you're just unlucky, because again, this is a 1-card play. It's not like, you know, you had to rely on 10 billion cards to do that. Anyways, now you can make your Nova, you can make your Infinity, absorb the Alpha Master of Beast, and now you can whatever attack. Now, assuming that this Infinity maybe negates something, but then eventually dies, you can still revive it back, because, again, just with that single Core, you are able to do so much. Like, you are able to apply pressure in the form of having a negate and board presence, but on top of that, you have a follow-up, because you can banish that Core that you summoned off of the first Core in order to summon next turn, and that's going to be able to revive you back any Cyber Dragon, or rather any machine monster with 2100 attack or defense from your graveyard. It is really relevant that it summons a machine with 2100 attack or defense, because that means that you can summon back Dean Girsu, the Orchest rank 8 Xyz, which is pretty interesting in Cyber Dragons. Anyways, your next turn can either revive back Nova or Infinity. Now, there are some good arguments for both. If you revive back Nova and your opponent goes like Torrential Tribute, then your Nova floats and summons back a Chimera Tech monster from your extra deck, for example, or any Machine Fusion. And on top of that, if you make Infinity on top of the Nova, it's going to start off immediately with a negate, so you can safely use the effect of Infinity to absorb a monster your opponent controls, even if your opponent has something like Veiler. However, if you summon back your Infinity, that means that you probably only play 1 copy of Infinity in the extra deck. So at least with that approach, you don't necessarily need to play multiple Infinities. But yeah, just like that, we get to absorb another monster opponent controls again, and it's crazy how all of that just came with one single card, so you can deal with a lot of cards your opponent has just throwing at you. You can negate cards left and right multiple times next turn. Even if you waste that one negate of Infinity, you can absorb another monster and then negate again, and again. That's probably the reason why it's called Infinity, because you can literally negate infinite times as long as you can absorb materials, but that happens every single turn. So pretty cool, interesting combo number 1, again, quote unquote. Let's get into combo number 2 now. Alrighty, so this is also pretty interesting. Let's just assume that you have absolutely no engine cards, right? Just Crackdown or Ice Dragon's Prison, maybe. Look at what you can do. It's actually crazy how you can unbrick using trap cards in order to steal your opponent's monsters and play with them. Even though you cannot attack with them, and they are like random levels or even Xyz monsters, it doesn't matter because we are using them as link material. So our opponent is passing turn whatever, as long as you have at least one light monster that you stole with either Crackdown or Ice Dragon's Prison, because both of those cards offer that functionality, you can make Lina the Light Charmer, and that has 2 really nice effects. So first of all, you can target one light monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to a zone that card points to. So against Invoked, you can summon back their Merkaba, and you can also revive back their Ecclesia in order to search your punishment. So if you're playing the Cyber Dragon Trap build with punishment, that is a card that you can actually search reviving back your opponent's monster. And against Blue Eyes, well, not that reviving Blue Eyes can really change that much. I guess it is a level 8, so if you have Cameratech Fortress Dragon access, you could make Dingirsu, but the really important thing is actually the second effect of Lina. So when it dies by battle or by opponent's card effect, we can search our deck for any light monster with 1500 defense or less from our deck to our hand. And Cyber Dragon Core just conveniently happens to have exactly 1500. What a coincidence. Konami actually already anticipated that the second they created Core. Imagine if Core had a 1600 defense stat. That would have made the card like so much worse. But again, Konami, I love you so much. Thank you for making things so convenient for us. So just like that, using 0 Cyber Dragon cards, you are able to do so much. Again, clear every single monster our opponent had and get our engine started. So even the brick hands can be played, you just have to be creative. So that's it for this combo. Let's get into the next one. Alright, so this is pretty interesting, and it's not actually a combo or even a flow of execution, but rather a ruling that you really have to learn if you are playing cards like Crackdown with Rivalry or Gozen Match, or even There Can Only Be One, because they really can come up against everyone, actually. And if you don't know that the ruling works like that, you might lose a game that you have no business losing. So, as crazy as this may sound, even under cards like Rivalry or Gozen Match, even if you do not respect the condition of the continuous trap card, you can still crack down your opponent's monster. Now, we have a Dark Attribute monster that is a Cyber, so in theory, I can only control Cyber's monsters. However, I can crack down my opponent's Dragon monster, and what will happen is that it will be stolen, but by game mechanic, it will immediately be sent to the graveyard. And that is a game mechanic, by the way. So against Sky Striker, what happens is that you steal their Shizuku, Kigari, Hayate, whatever, and then it goes to the graveyard, but it's not a card effect, so the raid does not come back. That is, again, another thing that you have to know if you do not want to get cheated against. So if you are playing these kind of trap cards, please, for the love of God, make sure you understand and apply this ruling at your advantage. And last but definitely not least, this kind of hand, if you have to go first, is usually not the best. Now, if you're going second, this hand deals exactly 13,100 damage. Now, you might be thinking, but Yasin, how do you get those insane mats? How do you know that? Well, it comes from the 500 of Anaconda with Chimeratech Rampage Dragon that has 2100 attack, boosted by 21 by the effect of Cyber Dragon Seeger. So 21 multiplied by 2 would be 42, multiplied by 3 is 12,600 damage, plus 500 is 13,100. So it's very easy to achieve. You would go normal summon the Hurts, special summon the Fear, and then make Anaconda, search Cyber Dragon, next turn pitch Cyber Dragon, revive back, make the Seeger, pay 2k with Anaconda, overload fusion, summon Rampage, send 2 light machines, and then the Rampage can attack thrice. Again, Seeger boosting it. So just like that, 13,100 damage. Very easy to do if you have to go second, but if you have to go first, this hand is very, very hard to play, and a lot of people don't even know how to do anything with that hand, except that I discovered a pretty interesting Link 2 monster that allows you to make this hand so much better than it really is supposed to be. Now, again, the beginning of the combo is basically the same thing, so normal summon the Hurts and then special summon the Fear, but this time you will be making a card called Puzzle Mino, the drop, and the leader, and you will of course be using the effect of Hurts. Your opponent technically can bell it, but belling a Hurts is very stupid when you don't have core in the graveyard. So, I mean, there's basically no reason for him to even do that. Now, you will be searching Cyber Dragon from your deck to your hand. Even though that is searching from the deck to the hand, it is still a bellable card because it also has the option to recycle back from the graveyard to the hand. It's just that if our opponent bells us, we can still go like activate emergency, search the missing piece, and we get to play, or like repair plant or whatever. But yeah, assuming that that doesn't happen, you can go next turn, discard the Cyber Dragon, Chainlink 1 the next turn, and then Chainlink 2 the Puzzlomino, and now our opponent is going to be a little angry that he didn't negate that Cyber Dragon Hurts with the Ghost Bell, so you were able to chain block the card that revives back from the graveyard in Chainlink 1 with Puzzlomino that adjusts the level of a monster that is special summoned to a zone it points to anything that is between 1 to 8. So we can put Nexture to level 5, and we got to revive back the Cyber Dragon with the effect of Nexture, meaning that we have 2 level 5 machines in our field, and that means that we can make Cyber Dragon Nova. Time to use its effect. We're getting belled now. Doesn't matter anymore. You should have belled us before. And now you can make Infinity and play from there. So yeah, a pretty bad hand was still able to accomplish something at least going first, even though it wasn't, you know, a going first hand at all. So that's all I had to say and showcase for this combo video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Really motivates me so much to keep making videos like these. Also check me out on Twitch and Instagram, by the way. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Peace.